thank you so much for coming to AWS Summit Australia and New Zealand. All right, g'day, my name's Pauline Kelly. I'm an AWS Solutions Architect. I'm based right here in Sydney, Australia. I've been with AWS for just over 5 years now, and that's about half as long as AWS has been operating out of the Sydney region. And in that time, I've seen customers grow from sort of exploring how they can use artificial intelligence and machine learning at a conceptual level to building secure and robust MLOps pipelines in the cloud, which deliver real production value. And we're only just getting started. With AWS, you have the technology to build out what you dream up. And generative AI in particular has captured the imagination of many of our customers, and they're already starting to use it to reinvent amazing experiences for both their users and their staff. So today I'll talk to you about how you can take advantage of generative AI capabilities on AWS to reinvent your business or your organization, and I'll even show you a demo as well. All right, so generative AI has really taken the world by storm. We've been able to realize just how incredibly powerful the latest developments in machine learning has become, particularly through consumer-facing applications like ChatGPT. And while the spotlight is shining on how consumers are using generative AI today, we think there is an even larger opportunity in how businesses and organizations can use it to create amazing experiences. These experiences will go far beyond search engines and chatbots, and in the coming years, generative AI will be transforming virtually every aspect of how companies and organizations will operate. There's been some pretty rapid advances in artificial intelligence and machine learning in the last few years, to the point where it almost seems like magic. It's not, it's the latest in a thread of compounding innovation, in large part powered by cloud computing. With the enormous amount of compute and memory that the cloud provides, companies have been able to train models across internet-scale data with all of its various forms and myriad of patterns. And what's even more exciting is that this data has been used to train models with billions, sometimes hundreds of billions, or trillions of parameters with this data. This is what enables these large models, also known as foundation models or FMs, to be able to generalize across multiple different tasks across a wide range of contexts. And while the fact that they can generalize across multiple different tasks is already very exciting, what's even more exciting than that is that you can use these foundation models and actually tailor these foundation models with your own data. This means you can get these models to perform domain-specific functions within your business, and it will only take a small fraction of the compute and the data required to build one of these models from scratch. When we think about how we apply generative AI today, there are three key benefits that we see for our customers. The first one is around enhancing the customer experience and how you can improve the interactions between your users and your applications in new and exciting ways. The second is around boosting the productivity of your employees and how you can find new ways to spark that creative process. And then the third way is around optimizing your business processes and how you can augment those processes for higher efficiencies and lower costs. If we think about how we can take each of these use cases and look at some examples across different industries and how they can meaningfully impact different industries. We can take healthcare, for example. It is not uncommon for clinicians to spend upwards of 30 minutes per patient typing clinical notes into various clinical systems, right? So what you could use is an ambient digital scribe, which could then automatically take that dialogue from that patient-clinician encounter. They can actually create a transcript of that full encounter, extract key insights from that encounter, and then provide a summary to save on that administration time. That summary might be clinical in nature, intended for colleagues, or it might be a simpler summary for patients to better understand their condition, their care, and what's next for them. This might provide a scalable approach to population health as our population continues to grow. And then you have your FSIs, your financial services industries. Generative AI can be used for portfolio management and creating highly tailored investment strategies, or for portfolios to align specifically with your financial goals. You also have the case for media and entertainment. With generative AI, you can use it to create unique and high quality content at scale for multiple different audiences. To meaningfully deliver on all of this potential, this transformative technology should be accessible and democratized so that it can be used by any industry. For AWS to support such a wide range of customers with very, very different needs, we want to support them to make the best use of the technology available today through 3 macro layers, and AWS is investing in all of them. The bottom layer considers the infrastructure required to build a foundation model from scratch and build production applications with them. The middle layer provides a wide selection of large and powerful large language models and other types of foundation models that you can use through a managed API. And at the top layer, we have application programming interfaces to interact with foundation models so that they are accessible to customers who don't necessarily want to build. They just want to use generative AI capabilities from the get-go. So let's start with the bottom layer, which is our infrastructure. To build large and complex models, you need massive amounts of compute. And not only that, but different types of machine learning tasks have different compute profiles. In order to train these types of models, you need absolutely massive amounts of data. So training is used to create improved foundation models by learning patterns from that training data. Inference then takes those models and uses them to create an output. This might be images or text or video, many different outputs. And for customers to build as economically as possible, training and inference should take place on the most cost-effective performant infrastructure specifically for those tasks. We've been collaborating with NVIDIA for 14 years. In 2010, AWS was the first major cloud provider to bring NVIDIA GPUs to the cloud with the cluster GPU instance types, or the CG ones. We've repeatedly been the first to bring the latest NVIDIA GPUs to the cloud since then, and this year is no different, with AWS being the first major cloud provider to bring the H100 GPUs to the cloud with our P5 instances. These P5 instances have incredible performance. They are 40% less expensive to run, and they are 4 times faster than their previous generation P4s. In addition to our work with NVIDIA, we also realized a few years ago that we'd have to innovate all the way down to the silicon, just like we did with Graviton for general purpose computing. To deliver the best performance and cost, we developed purpose-built accelerators specifically for training and inference. For model training, we've developed the AWS Trainium Accelerator. By switching over to AWS Trainium, you can save up to 50% of your costs for model training compared to other EC2 instances. And for AWS, model inference, we've created the AWS Inferentia Accelerator. This accelerator can have over double the throughput of your inference for your models, while reducing those inference costs by up to 70%, 70%. Beyond the infrastructure considerations, you also need the right tools to help you build, train, tune, deploy, manage, and monitor models at scale with AWS. This is why we developed Amazon SageMaker. Amazon SageMaker was released in 2017, and since then we've continued to innovate both with you and on your behalf to release capabilities such as automatic model tuning, managed distributed training, flexible deployment options, MLOps, and capabilities for responsible AI. For those of you building your own foundation models from scratch, AWS is focused on providing everything you need from the ground up to help you be successful. We have a deep focus on providing cost-effective and performant compute options, as well as providing secure and performant virtualization and networking infrastructure as well. Now, not everybody has the requirement to build a foundation model from scratch. In fact, we get many questions from our customers who just want to be able to use the largest and most performant LLMs and foundation models out there. As solutions architects, we often get asked questions like these. Which models should I use? And how do I know which model or models is best for my use case? How can I move quickly and build and deploy a generative AI application as a POC? And how can I make sure that my data is secure and private? And this was what brings us to the middle layer of our stack. For many of our customers, you just want to be able to access a diverse set of powerful large language models and other foundation models through a managed API. And it's also essential that you can do this while maintaining a strong security and privacy posture. To make this layer possible, we developed Amazon Bedrock, which is released in Sydney today. Yay. This service has been designed to be the easiest way to build and scale generative AI applications by providing access to a diverse set of large language models and other foundation models through a managed API. With Bedrock, you have the broadest choice of models, some of which are available first or only on Amazon Bedrock, and you can easily customize it to your own business context, quickly, easily, and privately, with the option to customize those models with your own data. You also get enterprise-grade security and privacy from day one, because we designed it that way. When you first use Amazon Bedrock, you'll notice that there are a wide range of foundation models organized by model provider. These providers include AI leaders such as AI21 Labs, Anthropic, Cohere, Meta, Stability AI, Mistral, as well as our very own Amazon Titan models. If your use case requires question answering, summarization, or generating original content through text generation, you can jump into the Bedrock console, filter by your use case, find a few models which align to that specific use case, and evaluate them to see which one works best for you. AWS will continue to onboard more models to Amazon Bedrock as they release new and improved versions of these models, or release models for entirely new use cases. When things are moving so quickly, the ability to adapt is the most valuable capability that you can have. And being able to switch between models, or even combining them in the same use case, will help improve business outcomes as the technology rapidly continues to evolve. We recently announced our extended and strategic collaboration with Anthropic. Now, Anthropic are a long-time AWS customer, and they are one of the world's leading foundation model providers. They recently announced the Claude 3 model family, which have set a new industry standard across the industry for a variety of cognitive tasks. These models in the Claude 3 model family have different trade-offs between intelligence, speed, and cost, allowing you to select the right balance for your specific application. Opus, which is the most intelligent of the Claude 3 model family, has set a new standard, outperforming other models available in the market today, including OpenAI's GPT-4 in the areas of reasoning, math, and coding. Now, because Anthropic are an AWS customer, they build their own foundation models. As part of this strategic collaboration, they will be helping AWS to build future generations of their Trainium and Inferentia accelerators. And AWS will be helping them to build new versions of their foundation models so all customers can benefit. Amazon Bedrock customers will also have access to unique features for model customization and fine-tuning. The ability to fine-tune and augment that model's capabilities so that it really understands your data, your business, your processes, and your customers will make an absolutely huge difference. That is only possible when the model understands your data and what is important to you. For that to happen, there are actually three main ways in which you can customize a foundation model: fine-tuning, retrieval augmented generation, and continued pre-training. You might use one or some combination of these techniques in order to optimize your model's performance. The first technique, which is fine-tuning, can be easily used within Amazon Bedrock. When you fine-tune a model, Bedrock makes a copy of that model, and you can train it using labeled data that you've uploaded to Amazon S3. In a couple of hours, you'll be able to access that fine-tuned model through Amazon Bedrock APIs, just like you would with any of the other base models. A second technique for tailoring foundation models is retrieval augmented generation, also known as RAG. You will probably hear a lot about RAG today. RAG is a really useful technique when you want the model to consider information that's new or information that's more up to date. Bedrock can retrieve data through your own document repositories, your databases, and any APIs. Bedrock has the RAG capability provided through what's called knowledge bases. Knowledge bases allows you to use that RAG capability in a very managed way, and it supplements your prompts with more information. A third technique you can use is called continued pre-training. You might use this particular technique when you want to adapt a foundation model, which has been trained on a general knowledge set, and you might want to have a more specialized knowledge set powering that model, say for example medical or finance or even law. In this way, what you can do is upload a large volume of unlabeled data to Amazon S3 for that particular domain. You can continue to train it, and then you can deploy it and use that continued pre-trained model. So we've talked a little bit about how fine-tuning, retrieval augmented generation, and continued pre-training can be used to improve the knowledge a foundation model has about both your organization and what you care about. But what actually makes that tangible difference to your organization is being able to take those model outputs and use them to take actions to have a meaningful impact in the real world, which creates that business value. Using Bedrock models can help you customers complete actions such as booking travel or filing insurance claims or even deploying code. But this requires the orchestration between multiple different systems. So to help reduce that integration code, we've added in agents for Amazon Bedrock. With agents, you can orchestrate and execute multi-step tasks across company systems and data sources. An example might be to provide an answer to a question a customer has about product availability, to then taking that order and then completing that fulfillment process. Agents has been designed to be put together very easily in just a few steps. And it's been designed with security front of mind, given that it does interact with company systems and data. Now, one question we sometimes get from customers is, will any of my data be used to train the base models? And I'm happy to tell you that the answer is no. No customer data is ever used to train the base models. That's because when you fine-tune the model, you make a private copy of that model and it doesn't go anywhere. It never leaves the AWS network, it never traverses the public internet. It's encrypted both in transit and at rest. It's securely transferred through your VPC, and it uses all of the same access controls that you can expect with any AWS service. And while Australia and New Zealand doesn't have compliance frameworks such as GDPR or HIPAA, the fact that Bedrock is eligible for these very strict compliance frameworks overseas actually allows for overlapping security controls with our local frameworks and uplifts security posture for the rest of us. Since we announced Amazon Bedrock, we recently introduced new security and governance capabilities. These include integrations with Amazon CloudWatch to basically track those user metrics, and also integration with Amazon CloudTrail to monitor API activity as well as troubleshoot issues. To help meet compliance requirements, Bedrock is also compliant with SOC 1, 2, and 3. This helps demonstrate to our customers that we have strong policies and security controls in place so that you can build with confidence in every business. All right, beyond security, we also need generative AI applications to be deployed in a way that is safe, it's secure, it's trustworthy, and responsible. That is our North Star. Capabilities which make generative AI such a promising tool for innovation also increases its potential for misuse. We need to find ways to unlock its potential while mitigating the risks. And this challenge will require a truly multi-stakeholder international effort involving technology companies, policymakers, academics, community groups, and scientists. An important component of responsible AI is to promote interactions between users and applications in a way that is safe, avoids harmful outputs, and also adheres to your organizational policies. The easiest way to do that is to place limits on what the model can and cannot return. And to make that a little bit easier, we developed guardrails for Amazon Bedrock. This is a new capability which helps safeguard your generative AI applications and keeps them in line with your organizational policies. Guardrails can be accessed easily in the Bedrock console, and it includes access, and you can use guardrails with both the base models you find in Bedrock as well as the models that you have fine-tuned. To create a guardrail, you can enter a natural language description of the topics that you want the model to filter out. This might include hate speech, or it might include insults. And the ability to redact personally identifiable information is important to many of our highly regulated customers, and this will be coming soon. There is huge potential for customers using Bedrock to infuse generative AI into the applications people use in their daily lives. Generative AI should be able to help anybody at work seamlessly with helpful and relevant guidance. It shouldn't matter to your users whether they understand anything about foundation models or generative AI or any of the rest of it. And this is what brings us to the top of the stack. These are the applications which are powered by foundational models with no building required. These generative AI applications can provide insights which can save hours of manual work. That's really good. However, many of us have had challenges with generative AI chat applications at work. If the model doesn't have a good understanding of your role, the tasks that you're trying to do, your business, your processes, or any of your operations, it's actually going to place some pretty hard limits on how helpful that model's responses can be. And as a user interacts with a model, it's also really important that it understands your role, what data you should have access to, and importantly, what data you should not have access to. It is essential to provide the data security and privacy policies you can expect from any organization. AWS has developed a generative AI-powered assistant with a deep focus on security and data privacy. So I'd like to introduce you to Amazon Q, which is a new type of generative AI-powered assistant designed specifically for use at work. You can use natural language interactions to chat and search and generate content with Amazon Q. You can also use Q to take actions within your workplace by integrating it with your systems and your data sources and your operations. Q's AI-powered assistance does not compromise your work identities or your roles or your permissions. If a user cannot access information without Amazon Q, then they cannot access it with Q either. Beyond improving general productivity, Q also helps you build in AWS. There are over 200 major services and features in AWS, which is a lot for anyone to know, trust me. To make it easier for IT professionals and developers to build well-architected applications in AWS, Amazon Q is accessible to builders in several ways. You can use it in the console while you're building. You can use it in the documentation while you are learning or troubleshooting. You can use it in Code Whisperer as you're debugging your code, and you can even integrate it through Slack, wherever you happen to be working at the time. Amazon Q can also be your business expert. Access to information is not always easily findable or accessible, even if you've got the right level of access. Q can deliver quick, accurate, and relevant guidance to business questions over your own data. It does this securely, privately, and provides references for fact-checking those answers as well. Q supports integration with up to 40 different popular data sources, including Amazon S3, Salesforce, Google Drive, Microsoft 365, and many more. To ensure the right user has the right access to the right data, administrators can place guardrails to customize and control responses to Amazon Q, and they can limit certain responses to authorized users. If you cannot access information without Amazon Q, you cannot access it with Q either. And as part of being your business expert, Amazon QuickSight, which is our machine learning powered business intelligence service, also has Q built into it as well. To speed up time to insight, you can ask Q questions like, why did the number of orders increase last month? And Q will provide an answer in the form of a mini dashboard, which will answer that particular question. You can also use Q to create or refine visualizations in Amazon QuickSight. You can enter natural language queries, such as show me sales by region by month as a stacked bar chart, or change this bar chart into a pie chart. And Amazon Q will do just that. Amazon Q is now available in Amazon Connect as well for real-time agent assist, and provides recommended responses, actions, and links to more information. Q can provide guidance on company-specific content, provide source information, and provide further source information if the agent really needs to dive into the details. So let's have a look at Amazon Q in action. There is a lot that is possible with Amazon Q. So we've covered a lot of information today, right? We started at the bottom layer of our stack, which covered our infrastructure. We talked about the middle layer of the stack, which covered how you can access a diverse set of large language models through a managed API. And we've talked about the top layer of our stack, where you can access generative AI as an application through Amazon QuickSight. As we come to a close today, AWS has everything you need to get started with the machine learning journey. It is very achievable to get started with generative AI today on AWS. Consider the range of possible use cases that you have and pick one that is high value. Then upskill your team to work with, to enable them to be able to upskill and help realize that business value in a shorter time frame. You can also leverage support from AWS experts who can help guide you through the machine learning journey, to help solve business problems, align technical and business stakeholders, and then provide you with an executable roadmap. All right. To help you grow your expertise and experience, AWS Skill Builder has over 600 courses, hands-on labs, and role-based back games to help you learn AWS services. You can try it for a week, absolutely free of charge. If you can complete the session survey in the mobile app, I would really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the session today. I hope you have a great time at Summit, and I'm looking forward to seeing what you build next. Thank you for joining me.
Please keep that round of applause